Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Folks, we have got an incredible information war going right now. I titled this SHTF and the Kings of Assumption. You know, if you're dealing with a friend or a family member and they're making decisions for you, they're telling you their opinion as if it's going to be more important than yours, preempting yours, right? There's a lot of assumption there that what they say matters. Now, given the fact that they're friends or family or loved ones, even coworkers, you accept that maybe there's at the very least, a smidgen of actual care about your best interest. Well, see, the experts in our world, all of those brilliant minds in Washington, D.C., New York City, right? They think that we're stupid enough to believe that they have our best interest in mind. Well, they don't, folks. They never did. They never have. And they never will. Even the founding fathers were interested in their lives and their families, and they set up the Constitution, the nation, for their lives and their family, knowing it would benefit everyone as well. Right? You got to take care of yourself first. Anyways, back to the kings of assumption. We are in an information war. We're in a psychological war using medical weaponry. Now, human behavior is something very fascinating. I want to take you back to that day where I lit up that cigar and burned that son of a gun and said, that's it, shit has hit the fan. These people have finally done it. And they did. That was 18 months ago. 18 months ago when we heard we're going to lock down for a week. Just 2 weeks now. We got to flatten the curve, right? We can do this. And the next day there were commercials on television showing people behind their glass in their living room window, waving to other people. It's okay. We'll all get back together. It'll be normal again soon. We just have to make sure we don't overwhelm the hospitals full of all the heroes that, 12 months, 18 months later are getting laid off, fired, treated like trash. But they were heroes then because they were serving the agenda. The assumption is from the experts, the politicians, that we're stupid. The assumption goes further, folks. The assumption is that if we believe them once, we'll believe them again. Right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, no fucking way, not happening. Right? But they know human psychology. Once you get people convinced there's a problem, as long as you, the experts, the government, the people in charge, the kings of assumption, once they get you behaving in a series and you start following the Pied Piper, you'll follow them right off a cliff. And that's what they've done. Okay, folks, we're going to lock down for a week, 2 weeks. Okay, well, it's going to be a month now. Oh my God, if you're essential, you can go back to work, but otherwise, no. You need to stay home. Oh, start wearing a mask. Mask not good, mask good, mask not good, mask good. Wear 2 masks. And they continue to give us instructions using fear, the threat of authority, right? The power of government, public opinion, the power of media. And they've taken away our power in the media. So the kings of assumption do not have opponents. Now, thankfully, many of us are out here and we're still able to speak and we're doing as best we can under the consideration. But we are in an information war. It's a psychological war. What they've realized, and they've known for a long time, is that once we, the people, start following them and assuming they know what they're talking about and assuming that they really have the authority to do the things they're doing, then they can go one step further as the kings of assumption and assume you'll continue to follow. And they will never give up their weapons, claims of power, claims of expertise. So here we go, folks. We've got King Fauci. A couple of days ago, he says, it's too early to tell if we're going to have a Christmas, if we can have a normal Christmas. There was so much backlash, folks, that he came right back out, walked his comments back, and says, no, Americans can have a good, normal Christmas with their families. Well, once again, folks, with their families, do you think that they aren't going to change their mind again? I remember last year, 12 months ago, hearing you don't get to have Thanksgiving. No Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is essentially canceled. Christmas is essentially canceled. Traveling to see your families is essentially canceled. Oh, unless you're one of the elite, powerful kings of assumption. Right? Unless you're an elected official, you don't get to have anything normal. But they kept telling us, oh yeah, if you just do as we say, if you just stay locked down, if you just social distance, if you just wear your mask, if you just continue to follow our instructions as we assume the mantle of power and authority as kings, and this little turd of a man, he is a little turd of a man who folks, by the way, is not, I know that the experts and scientists love to say that there's consensus. The consensus behind global warming, the consensus behind cerveza bug is that we're going to do what Dr. Fauci says. He represents the consensus of all the brilliant minds on earth. That's untrue. It is completely without merit. It is not supported by the facts or the evidence we have. On the Prepared Mind channel, or more specifically, the Prepared Mind on Patreon, you go there, and you're here right now for you on Patreon. You can go down and look and find all kinds of videos, all kinds of stories. Just scroll back through the history, and you're going to see a lot of information that's been posted to support the idea that Fauci doesn't know a fucking thing, that he couldn't find his own ass with his hands in his back pockets. But the point is they kept telling us how everything would be normal. All we need is herd immunity. Then that went away. Then what? No. Now we have the Jim Jones juice. You need to take that. Well, once we start doing that, we'll have herd immunity. And once we get to 60%, everything's fine. Don't worry, says Dr. Dumbass. There won't be any mandate on that. It's completely voluntary. Oh yeah, it's been voluntary with coercion and duress. If you like your life, your job, going to stores, being able to travel. Have you noticed that they keep taking more and more and more and more and more, and they don't stop? And when they push too hard, in other words, when their assumption of authority exceeds the people's willingness to accept their shit, they back up. It's not an accident. Fauci isn't sorry. He walked back his Christmas comments, but he didn't say, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. I'm a little man with Napoleon complex, and I overstep my bounds. I have no real authority. You can't accept me as the king because I'm really not. You, the people, are in charge, and you can do whatever the hell you want. Instead, he takes back his comment, and then he gives us more instructions as the king. He says, no. Don't worry. You can have a good, normal Christmas. You can, folks. Here's the fact. He didn't matter before cerveza bug, and he doesn't matter now. Everything that has happened, right, could have happened as far as the cerveza bug coming, people getting sick, people getting over it, the world moving along. We could have done just fine without Dr. Fauci. His permission wasn't needed before cerveza bug to live and to exercise our rights. His permission isn't needed now to live, and his permission is not needed for Christmas. I wasn't sitting around biting my fucking fingernails, wondering about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and wondering if Dr. Fauci was going to give me permission. And don't worry, folks, he's lying again. He's told us before, lockdowns will end, masks will end, everything will be fine, it'll be back to normal as long as we get 60% of people to take the Jim Jones juice. Folks, there could be massive lockdowns for Christmas. Shutting down the airlines. The federal government can shut down the airlines. So whether or not you can travel, whether or not you have the right to travel, doesn't matter if the federal government shuts down the airlines. We don't know what they have in mind for us, but what I do know is that the kings of assumption have not been dethroned. They're still in charge. They're still in power. They're still in Washington, D.C. They still think that they own us, that we're human resources, that we're chattel, that we're their property. Fauci never had the authority, folks. He is on a presidential advisory committee. He is the committee. It is a disgusting farce that this man is being held up at the level he is. It's an information war, folks. It's a psychological war. If you look back to when Cerveza first came out, they put up triage tents outside of hospitals. They said, no more coming in for elective surgeries and procedures. We need every doctor and nurse available, every bed available, because of Cerveza. And folks, they never filled the hospitals and beds. They never filled the triage tents. It was never that bad. The death rate, statistically, according to the CDC, was the same as any other season. What does that tell us? It was a show. It was a sham. It was all an act. It was a giant false waving of the flag to put on that show, to scare people into believing, and then looking to government, who assumed, right, leadership, who assumed the mantle of righteousness, and they assumed for themselves knowledge and understanding of what to do, how to do it, how to fix things, how to move forward. They assumed all those things. And they've demonstrated the entire time that they're wrong, because this persists. But they need Cerveza, the hysteria, the madness, the belief that it's out there, that it's bad. Oh, and it's bad, folks. But we're going to cover just a little bit more before I pull the plug on this show. Not the whole show, just this episode. They make all these assumptions and get people believing it and following them. Again, they're the Pied Piper, right? The kings of assumption are assuming that you've played the tune, you've listened to the tune, you've liked the tune, you require the tune, you need their tune to continue. We've got shit hits the fan, folks, for no reason other than it served their purposes. Hiding their economic destruction, hiding their monetary destruction, hiding all the problems that governments have created. And they want their great reset. And so they need the people to follow, right, the Pied Piper, the kings of assumption who have assumed this power, and keep listening to them and obeying them. And once again, they push too far, they push too hard, they get some blowback, they back off and go, oh, no, it's okay. That's all this is. This is not Fauci going the fuck away. They're not going to go away. Once again, in order to get their great reset, their new world order, folks, this is their goal, their end game. Once they get their new world order, they get their massive control, they get their population reduction, they get their control of the people and the removal of their rights and their constitution, their laws. Look what they're doing in Australia. Listen to what they want to do in the United States of America, controlling interstate travel. We cover it all, folks. These kings who have assumed power don't have it. And we've seen the madness that follows with these megalomaniac bastards and bitches in the states as governors, in the cities as mayors, in the counties as supervisors. Look at Los Angeles County. Look at the school districts and the assumption of power that they've taken. Even in a state like Texas or Florida, where they say, you're not teaching that anymore. You're not requiring these things anymore. And the teachers don't care. And they say, we're going to do what they want. And the school boards say, we don't care about the state law. We're going to do what they want. It's always these people who have assumed that they have the power at any level and that their power is the only power that matters. Well, it's become self-evident that their power that they're exercising serves an agenda. And that agenda is the destruction of America. With America destroyed, they can have their new world order all around the planet. That's what they want, folks. They need America destroyed. They're not walking away. They will not get off their throne, take off their crown, step away, acknowledge their failures, their lies, their deceit, the damage they've caused. Folks, there's a consensus of doctors out there that disagree with this man. But nope. All he's done is taken some of the pressure off the people. Hey, don't worry, you can have a good, normal Christmas. Well, you may not have a good time trying to buy presents for your children since you don't have the jobs we had before and the economy's not very good and we can't get supplies from China because they're all sitting offshore. Folks, all the Christmas shipments coming from China, India, Indonesia, other manufacturing centers around the world, Korea, they're being loaded on ships right now. The ships are sailing towards America. Make sure we get Halloween and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas stuff on the shelves for our good old American economy. They're going to be backlogged as well. Stores will go to their warehouses and pull out all the Christmas shit from last year and the year before, whatever they can find. It's not going to be pretty, though. In fact, none of this is pretty. They could stop right now, back off 100%, get off the throne, take off their crown, folks, and we would still be dealing with shit as the fan and all the damage they've caused. But see, they want to cause all the damage, create chaos, and then redirect America in a new direction, their direction, with them as the kings sitting on their throne. Folks, they aren't qualified, in my opinion, to sit on a porcelain throne. And all their ideas are shit and they should be flushed. But they're powerful, they're in positions of authority, and they're not going away. So thank you, King Fauci, for letting us peasant Americans know that we can have a good, normal Christmas, only with our families. No work Christmas parties, no neighborhood parties, no friends. I'm sure he'll come out and say, you can have a good, normal Christmas, but only 6 people. Unbelievable, the assumptions that these people make. Get prepared, folks. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Godspeed to you. Semper Fi.